everybody, let's get to work.
Good morning. May I help you? Got all the sugar in here.
No.
Oh my God. These are handcrafted special donut.
You have 6 donuts?
I do, so just try to go donut, and they're going cheap.
I'm tempted, but
Oh boy, really busy in there, and I still haven't sold many of my donuts.
Yes, it does get busy.
So do you enjoy working here?
I do. I work for my dad.
Oh,
so,
really? Oh, it's a family
Yes,
business. Oh, neat.
it's fun. It's taught me a lot, and it helps me through school.
Oh, what are you taking at school?
I'm in biology, studying to be a doctor.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Have you always wanted to do that?
I always wanted to. It's been my dream.
Hey, that's fantastic, because this next story, it's about a fellow named Mike Mazer. He's from Toronto, and he's following his dream. And it hasn't always been easy, but I think you'll agree with me. He's found his true calling.
The glittering skyline of Toronto, attraction to millions. But for countless others, that attraction is fatal. Every spring and fall, migrating birds are drawn to the lights and to their death. Scientists theorize that the lights confuse the huge flock's guidance systems. Hundreds of thousands of birds are killed every year as they crash into the reflective maze of buildings.
Oh, Jesus. Did you see that?
But there is hope in a lone figure who races through the night, rescuing the tiny creatures. For 8 years, Mike Mazer has worked full-time to save as many birds as he can.
Isn't that beautiful? We get up around 3 o'clock in the morning and start patrolling the perimeter of the buildings. We're keeping our eyes open for any birds that have collided with the structures. If we have any injured birds, we take them to some of the rehab centers in Toronto, and we drive to a release site and set them free back into their natural habitat.
He started saving them as a volunteer, but one fateful morning, Mike's commitment changed drastically.
There were hundreds, if not thousands, of birds lying all over the sidewalks. It was so overwhelming. I had them in the pockets of my jacket, anywhere I could house a bird, because I didn't have enough paper bags to accommodate the numbers that I was picking up.
As he rushed to a nearby vet, one escaped from the protection of its paper bag in his car.
It flew to my rearview mirror, perched itself, and it started to sing. And then suddenly the bird stopped singing, fluffed its feathers out, and dropped dead in my lap. And it changed my life. That particular moment changed my life so dramatically that all my thought and energy went towards this from there on.
The moment moved Mike to quit the security of his job running an art gallery. Now he raises funding and donations so he can work full-time combing the streets for birds. He and 15 other volunteers formed FLAP, the Fatal Light Awareness Program. But with 40 buildings to patrol, they rely on night staff from those offices to help out, like here at the Royal Bank building.
How are you doing?
Not too bad, how are you?
Checking the logbook, actually, for the lighting last night.
When I first started, I would, in some cases, be kicked off the property. This nut walking around at 4 o'clock in the morning with a net and bags and stuff. What's happening now is, in some cases, security in the buildings are picking the birds up for us. They're also holding on to some of the dead birds for us and handing them over to us so that we can tabulate them and put them as part of our database.
Bank staff found no live birds tonight, but Mike's determination has inspired them all.
There's a lot of involvement, actually. Some of the guys are quite happy to be doing this. It takes away the monotony of their job, I guess, and it's a good thing. They enjoy it a lot.
Oh, dear.
Another bird, this time a song sparrow, and it needs attention desperately.
Seems to have some bleeding from the beak.
Okay.
At the local animal rehab, Mike works with vets who donate their time to the injured creatures.
Doesn't like being picked up.
A bit of hissing, too, isn't there?
So he's got a bit of, he's got some fluid in his lungs.
The sparrow will need to be kept under observation. The vet isn't sure if the bird will rally to be released or even survive the trauma. So while the sparrow fights for his life, Mike heads into the corporate battlefield for the most critical part of his job. Get corporate Toronto to turn the fatal lights off.
The most I would get is a pat on the back and keep up the good work and, get lost in some indirectly. But now, as a result of the education and the amount of attention this issue is receiving now, they're opening their eyes and their hearts to this issue.
Mike's pitch to the manager of Commerce Court is simple. If they turn the lights off, they'll save thousands of birds. They'll also save $6 million a year in hydro. Mike's efforts have attracted international attention too. Prince Philip, president of the World Wildlife Federation, now contributes to Mike's rescue efforts. But that prestige is not what keeps Mike in this struggle.
I feel this is truly my responsibility, and anyone else's responsibility that knows enough about it and feels that they can help. Releasing these birds, getting them back into their natural habitat, giving them a second chance at life is just a wonderful feeling. Seem to be okay.
Luckily, the tiny song sparrow has recovered. Now Mike will see if it's strong enough to fly.
It's truly a passionate thing for me, and I cannot see ever walking away from this issue now. It's in my heart now, and it's never leaves my mind. Every single day I get up.
The almighty dog.
Coming
you
up
got the
next,
facts, you got
the
the
coach has
difference,
got me
buddy.
cornered.
You'd go down there too, wouldn't you? Yes.
Do you have a penny?
No, you don't need a penny.
No, I need 4 pennies.
You need 4 pennies.
Never mind. What a team.
Great.
Hey, wow, what's this? Oh, it's viewer mail. Viewer mail time. I love this time. Okay, let's see what we got this week. It says, Dear Peter, hello, I really love your show. I love it when they say that. I was wondering if Lynn could help me at my work. My boss makes me do things like make coffee for the rest of the staff and stuff, and I'm the only one he ever asked to do this. I just feel it's unfair. What can I do?
That's a good question.
It is a good question. You know, fortunately, Lynn Raskin, our answer lady's here,
Great.
so where do I find out? Hi, Lynn, how are you? Can I
Peter.
top up your coffee?
Absolutely.
So is this pretty common that people are being asked to do things outside their job description?
You know, Peter, it actually is fairly common in today's competitive marketplace. And we'd recommend 3 things. First, look around. If your company's motto is pitch in and serve the customer first, try it and be part of the team. On the other hand, if the job seems somewhat inappropriate and inconsistent with what's normal for your company, it is time to talk to your boss.
Careful how you approach the old boss.
Good advice.
Most importantly, take the initiative. Focus not on what you won't do, but what you can do. Seek out some challenging and interesting assignments, and then excel at it.
Terrific advice, as per usual. Now listen, if you've got a question about work that you'd like to ask Lynn, write us here. Hey, Mr. Big Voice, could you do all that because you make it sound so important?
Okay, write us in Winnipeg. We're on the internet, phone or fax. It's a living.
Speaking of pitching in, Peter, we have a ton of dishes that need to get done in the back.
Well, you know what? I kind of think that would demean my professionalism as a donut engineer. Well, everybody, that's it for It's a Living this week. Thanks very much for watching. Hey, you're going to want to tune in next week, though, because we are going to spend a day with the Duke of Duct Tape, the hero of handymen everywhere, Steve Smith. He's the man behind Red Green.
Just disconnect. The universal joints are gone. The clutch is gone.